Hi guys, happy Tuesday. Thanks for hopping on and joining me for Talk About It Tuesday. I am super excited to start doing these videos every week for you. I get questions all the time from entrepreneurs, moms trying to build businesses, women who want to make this work, and so all kinds of different things. I think Talk About It Tuesday, I'm starting for 2019, super excited about it because I want to be really honest about the journey as an entrepreneur. So if you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Heather Schreiber Burns. I'm super honored that you're here. I would love for you to drop a new below so that I can say hello to you. And if you are hopping on for the live or the replay, I would love for you to comment below one goal for your 2019, because we're kind of in that goal season, right? If you have a word, you can certainly share your word. I actually just changed my word yesterday. But anyways, I am an entrepreneur, been an entrepreneur for about 5 years. I'm a mom of 3, and my passion is to help point Jesus-driven entrepreneurs to their purpose while pursuing their God-sized dreams. So hopefully you'll get something from this video. I have a 5-year-old, and he will soon be 5. I shouldn't rush his age. He will be 5 in next month. So in less than a month. But I was watching him and I really got some these aha moments, and I thought, wow, that is so good. I have to share that with everyone else. So anyone else? Any of you moms, do your kids like Legos? Drop a Lego below, because y'all, my son loves them, and I love watching him do them. But I'll tell you what, they really hurt when you step on them, like kill ya. So they feel like they're going through your foot. But anyways, my son asked for Christmas, wanted one of the Ninjago Lego sets. And so this is a picture of the thing that he wanted. We threw away the box, but we have the instructions here. And so this is like what it's supposed to look like. And when my husband was like, yeah, we're gonna get him that, I was like, really? Should we? And so I'm gonna talk to you about 5 things that I think is so good about this whole thing. So I'm gonna actually show you what this thing looks like. Y'all, Legos are different nowadays. Check out the complexity of this thing. I mean, this thing's tail turns. This thing's mouth opens. It is really cool. So I don't know about you, but Legos were not like this back in the day. But I want to tell you 5 things that I learned through watching my son that hopefully you can apply to your business today. And a couple of the clients I've been talking with who I coach, so I've used this analogy with so many of them. I'm like, I've got to go live. I've just got to go live. So number 1, what have we learned about this is 1, my son didn't even hesitate for a second. He's 4, he'll be 5. Didn't hesitate for a second to say this is the one he wanted, right? And I think sometimes we can be so intimidated by the picture of our dream and of our goal that we can think that we're not capable. My son's name is Nico, and he was like, Mom, I want that one. And so I want you to be encouraged this year going into 2019 with new goals, new God-sized dreams, as I call them. Don't be intimidated by the big picture of it, right? God-sized dreams are God-sized because you need Him to help you get there. Don't be so intimidated by them that you're not even willing to go for it. I was talking with someone the other day, coaching, and we really got down to the nitty-gritty of what she really wanted out of her business, and it was as if she was just a little too scared to actually ask for it. My son taught me a great lesson, even for myself, to think, don't be intimidated by the picture and by what even the age says. So the age was actually 8 to 14, has 544 pieces. He didn't 1 second think that he couldn't get it done and do it. And so I want to encourage you, don't be intimidated by the big picture. Don't be intimidated by what the box says, because don't put God in a box, right? God's not in a box. Any God-sized dream that you have on your heart, I want you to know that it can absolutely 100% come to fruition. Again, don't forget that God-sized dreams are just that. You need him to help you accomplish them, but who cares if it says ages 8 to 14 or 1,000 pieces or whatever? It doesn't matter. If you have him in your life and you're seeking him through your business every day in every way, and it's something he's put on your heart, y'all, he can make it happen. So that's number one that I learned from him. All right, number two. All right, I was talking to another person I was coaching, and we were talking about her goals, and she told me her goal for the month. I'm like, okay, what's your plan to get there? And she's like, I don't know. You guys, we have instructions, right? So every Lego set comes with an instruction booklet. It is literally laid out to help you get to this, right? So if you don't have a plan though, and I just handed you a pile of Legos, like, would you even know what to do with it, right? Would you know what to do with it, right? And so my son followed the instructions on his own. He used our help a couple times, which I was so impressed by him. But if I just handed him these and didn't give him the booklet, he couldn't get there. So guys, do you have a plan for those God-sized dreams, right? Do you know what you're going to be doing, and are you following that plan every day to get to the end result, right? Are you actually following a plan? Because a goal without a plan, it's just a dream, it's just a thought, it's just a nice idea, right? So do you have instructions? Do you have plans that you're following? And let me tell you, one of the best instruction books is the Bible. It really is, right? I love when I always say when people ask, what are my favorite personal development books? I'm like, the Bible is seriously the best one. So if you aren't using that in your business, I encourage you to use that in 2019 and see how your business skyrockets and changes completely. It totally did for me. So, all right, that's number two. Number three, the next piece, right? We see this whole thing and we see this picture of what it's supposed to look like, and you open up this box and all it has is literally like bags and bags of Legos. And so the thing with that is, your dream, your big goal, your big business goal for this year, it doesn't just happen. You don't just put it together quickly, right? You go piece by piece by piece, page by page by page. So I really want to encourage you to think of your year as 4 different sections: Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and think of it by months and then weeks and then days, and what do you have to do each day to build upon each thing in order to get the end result, right? The end thing that you actually want. But don't forget, you're not going to get the big picture, the big God-sized dream that you have for this year by chance, right? You're going to get it by doing one step at a time. And so often we think of that big thing and we get so frustrated that we forget that it actually takes a lot of little steps to get there, a lot of little insignificant pieces, like this one just fell off. Y'all, this looks so insignificant by itself, right? But this is one of the things that, I don't know, it pops on its back and it's like its little, I don't know, spear or whatever. So that's lesson number 3. Are you going piece by piece? Do you have a plan, first of all? And are you forgetting that it takes small things over time that are going to yield big results? I am on a Darren Hardy kick right now. If you haven't read Darren Hardy's The Compound Effect, he talks about it's the small things we do over time that yield big results. So these small little pieces, one upon another, really is what gets you the big result, right? I totally feel like I'm a teacher right now in teacher mode. I was a teacher for 3 years, but I could totally do this lesson to my 4th and 5th graders. I feel it. Then number 4. So there were some times that my son was putting this together, and the few times we had to step in, he'd bring us a chunk of pieces, right? And something was off. And so we realized that he was skipping steps. He was trying to skip a few, he wasn't trying, but he was skipping a few things, and kind of taking the easy way out. And the thing won't work. It won't function like this functionality, like the fact that its tail goes like crazy by this little turning knob, like it won't function correctly if you skip a step. So don't try to rush the process in your business and in your goals, because if you skip a step, it's most likely not going to work, all right? And then the last thing, the very last thing that it was like, okay, I hear you, God. Like, I don't know, he speaks to me in so many different ways. And if it's through Legos and my son, and it's a good message for you to help you in your business, so be it. But y'all, it's about the journey. As you are setting these big goals for 2019, and you see these big God-sized dreams, right? That big picture of like what you want. I just want you to remember that I'm telling you, from experience over the last 5 years, I've set some lofty goals for myself. I've set, to earn $1 million. I have set to retire my husband. I have set to retire myself from the corporate world. That was my first one. I've set to hit certain milestones with my teams that I work with, how much we set, all different things. I've set so many big goals. And if I can just share like the honest truth is that when I've hit all of those goals, it was great. But it's like Christmas, right? We anticipate all the way up until Christmas Day, and then Christmas Day happens and it's so fun and we have so much energy and it's like, and then the next day after Christmas, it's almost depressing, right? That's kind of how goals work in your business, because it's about the journey. It really is about the journey that it takes to get you to where you want to be. Because seriously, my son put this together, and the next thing he said, he was like, all right, can I take it up? Literally within like a couple hours, he was like, can I take it apart and make some other stuff? I'm like, dude, wait, what? You want to take this apart? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, no. I was like, we're going to stick this like on a shelf or something. And he's like, nah. He's like, I just want to make some other stuff out of my imagination. And I kept thinking, I really want to tell him no. Like, no, you're not allowed to take this apart. Like, this is really cool and I'm so proud of you and you did this. But I thought, you know what? He's so innocent and he's such a good representation of, you guys, it's about the journey. Like, the fun of this whole thing was putting it together. He had it together for 2 hours and was ready to take it apart. I'm telling you, the fun of your journey to get to those big goals that you have in 2019, the fun to get to the end goal, it's every day throughout. And so don't take any day for granted. I know there are tough days. Being an entrepreneur can be extremely lonely. You feel like you're by yourself and you don't, it can be frustrating. You have lots of failures, lots of defeats, lots of things that set you back, but you do have those milestones of celebrations too. I really want to encourage you to remember it's about the journey. It's not about the destination, because if you're anything like my Nico, once you get to that big goal, you're going to want another set of Legos, because he's like, all right, I'm ready to do the next one, right? And you're probably going to want to, you just want to move on. Like, okay, achieved, ready, move on, ready to go. So enjoy the journey this year. Remember, don't be intimidated by the big God-sized dreams. Go for it. Even if the goal seems so big that you feel like you can't do it, well, I encourage you to know you can't do it on your own, right? That's the beauty of a God-sized dream, right? But don't be intimidated by what the box says, what the world says, what your family says, what your spouse even says. I know I'm not going to go there today, but I know that there are lots of people who have husbands who are not supportive of their goals. That's a whole other video, but your family, your friends, people are going to doubt you, because a lot of those people doubt themselves. So don't be intimidated by those people. You still write that goal down. You put it on your vision board and you set out to make that happen, and you seek God every day in order to make that happen. So number 2 is the instructions to actually have a plan to get there. Don't just have some pretty goal, some pretty idea of what you're going to do, but yet you don't even have a plan to get there. Be methodical about it. Think about what you need to do to get there. Otherwise, your goal without a plan, it's just a dream. And a dream with like no actual way to execute, it's not going to happen. Then number 3 is, are you willing to go piece by piece? Are you willing to actually say, I know what it takes to get there, and I'm willing to go piece by piece by piece, and I'm not going to get frustrated that this might take a little longer than I would like it to. And then don't skip steps, right? As you're willing to go piece by piece by piece, don't skip steps. Don't take the easy way out. Otherwise, your goal, if you skip a step, like, it's not going to function the way that it's supposed to, right? It's not going to work the way that it was intended to work. So that means what God had, the path that he has you on, if you try to skip a step, right? You try to force it, you try to rush the process. One of the biggest lessons I learned in 2018, and I will share it with you, is God's timing is just as important, if not more important, than God's plan and God's will. And if you rush the timing, you rush the steps, and you rush the process, you just take out the joy of the end result, right? Because it's probably not going to work the way that God had it actually intended for you to work. And then the last thing is, don't forget, it's about the journey. I know it can be grueling. I know it can be tough. I know it can be lonely. It can be depressing at times, but do not forget that your goals, your God-sized dreams, it's all about the journey. Enjoy the process. Get a journal. That's one of my things for 2019 too. I'm writing things down more and more and more, because we forget about the emotions that we go through and the feelings that we go through. But if you journal and you write it down, it makes you appreciate the process so much more, to see how far you've come and how far God's taken you in your goals. So I hope that gives you a little bit of encouragement and a little bit of a different vision. Hopefully you'll never look at Legos again, right? And just a different idea of how to look at your goals and your dreams for 2019 and go for it. If this was helpful for you and you feel like a friend of yours, hopefully you're surrounding yourself with lots of other entrepreneurs who get you. Share this on your page, share this in your groups. I do have a community of faith-driven entrepreneurs. It's called Boss Babes with God-Sized Dreams. If you want to join it, it's a free group. We just encourage each other, support each other. I offer free trainings and different things in there. So I'll put that link above so you guys can get it once I hop off here. And I hope you guys have a fantastic week. And if you do have any questions or any topics that you would like me to cover on Talk About It Tuesday, moving forward every Tuesday, I'm going to get on here and I'm going to talk about a lot of the things that I talk with my clients about when I coach them, as well as any questions you put in my inbox. I would be more than happy to address them and talk about them, because I think so often people don't talk about the hard side of entrepreneurship, and that's really the part that we need to talk about. Same with life in general, right? We all want that highlight reel. Well, I want Talk It Tuesday to be literally about anything, but if you have a topic or a question, a business question, something, even if it's mom related, whatever, anything that you feel would help you in your business, drop it in my inbox and I will be able to address it on our Talk About It Tuesdays. All right? You guys have a fantastic week and I'll talk to y'all later.